This guy finally belongs in the discussion with Michael Jordan as one of the greatest offensive players we've ever seen.
This just cannot happen in the NBA again. We have seen Stephen Curry. We've witnessed the greatest shooter of all time. 2023, May. Never. Just cannot happen again. His mere presence on the court demands respect. This is not just a story about basketball. It's a story about a moment in time. A moment that may never happen again. Come dive in as we go through this extraordinary feat. Now, there's a point in time where all that exists in the world is a rim and an obsession. That's the moment Curry rises, suspended in the air, and you can almost sense the shift in the basketball cosmos. What follows is a brilliance that's so hard to put into words. Focus takes over. Depth perception becomes almost superhuman, and elite hand-eye coordination dances together. But it's the inexplicable feel of shooting that sets him apart. Up there, in that split second, a switch flips. Adrenaline collides with genetics, muscle memory, and a dash of imagination. And he creates his own unique artistry. It's Curry's own world, a place where he has liberated, plying his father's trade and carrying out his purpose. Now, you can't break up the Warriors because the Warriors aren't letting it happen. You can't break up the Warriors because it shouldn't happen until Stephen Curry's last swish and Draymond Green's last swipe. Shouldn't be contemplated until Steve Kerr has walked away, Kevin Looney is tired of rebounding, and Klay Thompson doesn't want to shoot anymore. So maybe it'll never happen because of everything we saw and felt in the Warriors' soaring 120-100 Game 7 victory over the Kings in Golden One Center. No other team has ever silenced hostile crowds like this and pushed itself to play like this in a procession of epic moments. So you can't break up the Warriors if Curry wants this to go on forever. And he puts up 50 points, the most ever scored in a Game 7, to make sure this went on at least another round. But it didn't end. It won't ever be like this again once it's over. Draymond can become a free agent this summer. So can Bob Myers. The Warriors' massive luxury tax bill is coming due hard. And so what? You can't purposely end this anytime sooner than it absolutely has to. You can't do it the way the Michael Jordan Bulls all broke up after the famous Last Dance 1997-98 season. And Game 7 is one more reason owners Joe Lacob, Draymond and Myers can't and won't let themselves be the ones to call this all off. Who knows what's going to happen this summer, but this is a special era, Kerr told after his news conference. I know we won the title in 15. It was the first time in 40 years that the Warriors had won a title. Being a part of the 98 Bulls, they've had really good teams since then. I haven't been back to the finals in 25 years. This stuff is incredibly hard, no matter how strong your organization is. It's just rare to get a group like this together. There's some luck involved. In my mind, you've got to ride that as long as you can, because inevitably it's going to be really difficult to get back to the top. Lacob's mood was probably summed up by his one-liner as he walked out of the arena with a big thumbs up. "It's not over," Lacob said. Warriors ferociously don't want to be broken up. That's what they showed us and the entire league through this amazing series, which had some miserable Warriors lows and a couple of remarkable and unmatchable highs. The Kings would have beaten almost every other team in the league and still got walloped. You can't break up the Warriors because their second-round series against LeBron James' Lakers with Game 1 on at Chase Center is the single most anticipated matchup of 6 and 7 seeds in sport history. Long after it was over, the Warriors' mainstays all lingered in their locker room and happily chatted about what just happened. You can't break up the Warriors because this is why, as Kerr told them after the game. This is a championship team. Steph had 50 points in a Game 7. How many people have done that? It's also a realistic team. Warriors and Kings were struggling to put the ball in the basket in the third quarter thanks to the intense defense both ways. Wiggins laughed and made a great point. "Yeah, but we've got Steph," Wiggins said, so it was okay. Warriors and Curry did this even after their horrible performance in Game 6 when they never seemed to get up speed, even though they had a chance to end the series at home. You can't break up the Warriors because they're so spectacularly stubborn they knew they had already won Game 5 at Golden 1 and then just decided to do it again in the do-or-die situation. If they had lost, maybe this all started to tear apart. But even if the Warriors go on to get bounced by the Lakers, the old Warriors can still do this, still belong together, still win a championship. This was the 5th Game 7 of the Curry era, and they're now 3-2 in these ultimate scenarios. That's a lot of Game 7s. This was just the first round, not the Western Conference Finals where they won Game 7 at home against Oklahoma City in 2016 and won in Houston in 2018, or even the finals when they lost Game 7 at home to the Cavaliers in 2016. But at this stage of the dynasty, almost everything feels like it could be, well, sort of final. Being in this moment right now, this feels like the biggest one, Draymond said. Quite frankly, the performance Steph put on, you look at all the things we've been through as a team, to win Game 5 here and then go home and lay an egg, then come back here on the road and have to do it all again and do it even better than you did in Game 5, which was very impressive. I think that speaks volumes. Now you talk about the last dance, the this, the that, and that takes things up another couple of notches. They won this game the old-fashioned way, cleaned up their offensive schematics mostly by going to a high pick and roll almost every time with Curry and simplified everybody's decisions instead of letting the Kings' pressure take them out of rhythm. Kerr also put Draymond back into the starting lineup after the Warriors had gone with Jordan Poole in that slot for the previous 4 games. The Warriors, who looked drowsy and fell behind 8-0 in Game 6, immediately snapped back to life from the opening tip and took an 18-12 lead that set the tone. Basically, Curry took care of the rest of the scoring. It was a full commitment to the main 5 guys too. Curry and Draymond both played 38 minutes and would have played over 40 if the Kings hadn't called it off with 2 minutes 39 seconds left in the game. Wiggins played 37 minutes and Clay played 35, and though he shot poorly, his defense drew raves from Kerr. Here's proof. Clay was at game best plus 30. What do you think of those comments, Steph? The competitive spirit's always in us, and we didn't need any sound bites to motivate us, but it did help to know they thought they had something in terms of the pace, Curry said. At the end of the day, we knew who we were. These last 36 hours were spent regrouping and trying to figure out what our adjustments were going to be and how we were going to come out. We had a great talk and a great film session. There were still nerves and anxiousness anticipating a big night, but when we got there, our experience took over. Felt pretty comfortable from the jump. Now, the toll of this might all come due to starting against the Lakers, who play a different style than the Kings and have been very tough on the Warriors this season. The Lakers aren't a young team either, but they've been off since. We'll see. But I don't think that the Warriors will feel too tired to put up their best fight, which is what they always do. If the Warriors reclaim their spot among the Western Conference elites, Curry could make a credible MVP argument. As he just proved yet again, his offensive numbers can stand next to anyone's. He could find his way to 30 points and 6 assists a night while posting a 50-40-90 shooting slash, numbers only previously reached by Curry himself. There will never be a Warriors game like this if Stephen Curry wasn't there. And there will never be anything like this Game 7 feeling except perhaps until the next time these players roll into a hostile arena with everything on the line. And refuse, absolutely rabidly refuse, to let this end. So, that's it. How many Curry fans are out there? What do you think about the latest Warriors performance? Comment down your thoughts and share the video. For more such content, hit the like button and subscribe.